Is ProSpy everything they say it is? Yeah, I mean, I have to say it is. It gives you a great way to spy on a phone without having it or being anywhere near it. Also, there's a way to do it without installing any software or any app to the phone you want to monitor. Now, I know when I do these kind of reviews, people always jump to the negative and think, okay, well, what about cheating and infidelity? And, people are going to misuse it. Yeah, unfortunately, it can and more than likely is used for those types of things, but there's also many other uses for these things, like kids and elderly and employees and everything else that you could possibly think of. So while I'm doing this review, let's, automatically assume that, we'll use it for good purposes, but you know what? Whatever your life situation is, see if it applies to you. So this is the way it goes. ProSpy is great because it allows you to gather information from a phone without having the phone or being anywhere near it. And it does this through what's called an OTA link. OTA stands for over the air. So it does this, everything goes over the air. So you download the app to your phone, then you enter the telephone number of the phone you want to spy on. The app then does basically all the work by establishing a remote connection over the internet between the other phone, the phone you want to monitor or gather information from, and your phone. Once that connection is established, that's when things like WhatsApp messages, text messages, GPS, call recordings, call logs, FaceTime, so much information is sent from their phone to your phone. Now, people always ask, will they know? Well, I hate to answer that question because it might encourage someone to do something illegal, which is something I never want to do. But the fact of the matter is, no. More than likely, they will not know. In my opinion, there's a 99.9% chance that person will never know. Why? Because people just don't look at their phones that often. Even if they do, they don't know what they're looking for, where to find it. Does it send notifications? No, there are no notifications. Nothing pops up. So yeah, chances are, they're not going to know. Now, I can't say 100% definitely, but in my opinion, I've never heard of anybody finding out. But that doesn't mean it's okay to do anything illegal. So keep that in mind. So yes, it's undetectable. It uploads information once every 7 to 10 minutes, which pretty much gives you real-time monitoring capabilities, especially the GPS. It gives you the GPS, the location. Now, the current location plus the history. You're going to be able to see where that phone has been, how long it was at each one of those locations, the route that it took to each one of those locations. I mean, it really is a lot of information. And you're going to see it as a push pin on a Google map, the street address, the city, the state, and everything else that you need to know. And as I said, if it stopped at Starbucks in the morning on its way to work, you're going to see it was at Starbucks for, say, 7 minutes and 18 seconds. That's how exact these things are. Now, in addition to that, there are what's called stealth commands in these OTA apps that are offered in ProSpy. And the stealth commands allow you to do things like remotely activate the microphone so you can listen to the phone's surroundings. They allow you to send a command to the phone that will give you its exact GPS location at any point in time. It kind of like on demand. You can also send a command to the phone to tell it to snap a picture of whatever the camera happens to be looking at that very moment. And no, these text messages are also sent behind the scenes, undetectable. There are no notifications. Again, that doesn't mean it's okay to do anything illegal. So keep this in mind, folks. I know you're going to do what you're going to do anyway, but I have to tell you this. Just be careful with this kind of stuff. So now, moving along, social media. Yes, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, you name it, and any other social media platform that I might be forgetting. The great thing about this, and keep this in mind too, if you happen to get the person's phone in your hands, maybe it's your daughter, okay, and you have to scroll through real fast while she's in the shower, or maybe even your son, whatever the case may be, you have a limited amount of time. You're probably a little nervous, whatever. It's very, very unlikely you're going to find every single social media app, every single DM that's on that phone in a very short period of time. That's the great thing about these OTA apps and ProSpy is that they do all the work for you. They'll identify all those messaging apps, all those social media apps. They'll extract all those DMs faster than you can say Yankee Doodle Dandy. I mean, it's that quick. You could never do it that quick. That's why it's best to let the app handle it. It doesn't make mistakes, and it does it quickly. Like by the time, a couple of blinks of an eye, it's done. So if they have more than one Facebook account, if they have more than one Instagram account, if they have dating apps on their phone, all of this will be identified, captured, and extracted before you can say, you said Yankee Doodle Dandy. Yes. Now, when it gets to messaging apps, yes, text messages, WhatsApp, Signal from the Signal messaging app, or maybe private message box, or any other messaging app will be identified, captured, and uploaded by the spy app and made available to you. Even messaging apps that happen to be hidden behind other icons. I bet you didn't know this, but there are many, many icons out there that are made to cover up messaging apps. Like you can make it look like, I don't know, your weather app. The icon would be the weather app, but beneath the weather icon is, of course, a messaging app that could be used to message, whoever else. That's the great thing about these OTA spy apps. Fast and simple, easy to use. I mean, I'm telling you, there's never been anything easier to use than these apps. Now, I've seen other ones around where you have to actually have the phone in your hand to manually enter the license key or the URL, and you have a limited amount of time. A lot of settings need to be changed on the phone, and that's just not the case with some of these OTA spy apps that are offered in ProSpy. So if you're in a situation when you need to spy on a phone without having it, being anywhere near it, or without installing any software or any app to the phone, I'm telling you, the OTA apps in ProSpy can get the job done for you. Check it out. Now, in the link directly below this video, or I should say in the description directly below this video, I have two links. One is a review that was done from AutoFord, about AutoFord many, many years ago. And AutoFord has now become one of the OTA apps that are offered in ProSpy. And I'm offering it to you because it gives a great example of what to expect. And this is just a user who happened to send in a review of the product some time ago. The other link is the OTA Spy app demo, where it gives you a demo of exactly, or I don't want to say exactly, but pretty much how one of these things acts, because each one of the apps is slightly different depending on what you might be using it for. And it works on all iPhones and it works on all Androids. But the demo will give you a great example of how one of these things works and just how easy and fast it is. You'll see it download to the phone, you'll see it establish the connection with the other phone, and then you'll see it acquire the information from the other phone. So if you have any questions, just watch either one or both of the links that are in the description directly beneath this video, and all your questions will be answered. And I'll tell you, it's called ProSpy. You can get it at prospy.app. That's www.prospy.app.